Every time you have an idea, write it down.
You are now listening to Ralgor MD.
So what are some properties of stents? Well, I think the first thing to remember is that a stent is about creating a metal scaffold inside of a blood vessel. So to me, one of the most important properties of stents is what's called radial force. This is the force that the stent expresses outwardly onto the vessel wall. When there's an atherosclerotic plaque, which is partially occluding the lumen of a blood vessel, it's that radial force that allows the stent to push that lesion away to allow for a normal channel of blood flow. Another force that's similar to radial force but opposite is called hoop strength. Hoop strength is the ability of a stent to resist compression. Importantly, hoop strength describes the ability of a stent to resist being crushed. If a stent is crushed, there is loss of the vessel lumen, and therefore that stent becomes endotrash. Another important property of a stent is the flexibility or trackability of a stent. Now, at first glance, flexibility may seem a lot less important than radial strength, but consider this. A stent is pretty much useless unless you can drive that stent on a flexible catheter to an area of vessel stenosis. I think it's really important to think about stents as a balance. Theoretically, the stent with the best radial force and hoop strength will be a solid metal tube. However, you'd never be able to track a solid metal tube through a blood vessel to actually treat a lesion. So through complicated engineering and through the development of various stent designs, we get stents that are both flexible enough to track through blood vessels and have enough radial force to prop them open. Lastly, an important property of stents is the radiopacity. In order to land a stent accurately, you need to be able to well visualize the stent under fluoroscopy. Now, nitinol stents can be very difficult to see under fluoroscopy, so oftentimes stents will have markers on the leading ends and the trailing ends in order to help you place them accurately.